Okay, so look, there's all these waves out there, and say, but whose wave should it be? Whose waves does it belong to? So that's the thing. Like really, with surfing, that I mean, really, the surfers have to have right of way over jet surfers, over wind surfers, over kite surfers. You know, we've got the power, the movability to get around, and we can pick up lots of waves. But the surfer, he's having to really work for it. He's right in the middle. They've got to have the right of way. So between the surfers, it would be the person that's closest to the peak would be the one who would have the right of way. So there's 2 or 3 surfers, you see them, bum bum bum, they're about to paddle for it. One guy gets the wave, the other guys, they drop out, or you know, so they don't ruin his wave, so they don't snake his wave. That's what it is. You go along, and you're not the person who's closest to the peak. The peak is the piece that peaks up fast, like the lip, the highest part of the wave. That's the peak. Some waves will have more than one peak, and then it's a whole big other discussion as to he was on a different peak or so on. But anyway, the person closest to the peak, typically that's their right of way. If someone else that's further away from the peak paddles in and takes the wave, that's snaking the wave, and that's not done. You know, there's a lot of punch ups, a lot of bad things that would happen. People aren't going to be impressed with you for that. When it comes into, if you're sort of fighting it out now, who's got the right of way between you and windsurfers or kite surfers or whatever's left after saying the surfers blanket have got right of way, really is the person who's perhaps the person who catches the wave furthest out and who's closest to the peak. So it might be like, because we can track, we don't have to wait there where the waves are breaking, we can actually go out a bit further, look at the waves out to sea, because it's actually often easier to spot them out to sea. And there may be like a set of waves, perhaps there's like 3 waves in a set, perhaps there's 5 waves, but you don't pick the first one because that's the smallest one. It's just forming, you know, and then you look and you're probably going to take the 3rd or 4th one from the set, or the 2nd to last one in that set. That's the one ideally you want. And if you come out and you're out to sea and you're coming back in, like you're kind of stalking this piece of swell from the way out, and you just kind of feel like you've got your flag on it, you know, that's kind of mine. But also when it comes to the point where the wave's going to break, you want to be on the peak, right on the peak, the heaviest part of the wave as it comes in from a little way out, and for that to kind of be your wave. But I guess there's got to be a bit of give and take, and hopefully you know the people on your beach and everyone wants to have a good session. You know, it's not fair for one person to have it all, and you've got to think about everyone else, you know. But it can be difficult because I mean it's supply and demand, and I think unfortunately typically in the world there's more demand for waves than there is supply. You know, if there's like sets of just 3 or 4 waves coming in and everyone wants, like, you know, doesn't want the first 2, that's 2 waves, and they might be waiting in some places, you know, you could be waiting 15 minutes for that set to come through. So that's 2 waves available in 15 minutes, and you could have 20 guys all wanting those 2 waves. So yeah, it is a bit of a problem, but hopefully you can find, as a jet surfer or a motorised surfboard, perhaps you can find yourself another wave that's just not working for them anyway. You know, a wave that goes off a bit too fast, a bit low powered, one that can work for you and you can enjoy it away from the whole problem.
Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah.